Good day, my dear brother and sister, Indigenous people. Happy Indigenous Peoples Month. We're going to discuss the history of our ancestors. Oral tradition and records about the introduction of Islam into Mindanao give us a clue to the history of pre-Spanish Manubo. Their ancestors inhabited the lower valley of the Pulangi River in central Mindanao. In the 14th century, Sharif Kabungsuan, a Muslim missionary, arrived from Johor to convert the people. According to tradition, the Manubos leaders were two brothers, Timway Tabunaway and Timway Mamalu. They lived by creek. Banubo, which flowed into Mindanao River near the present site of Cotabato City. Tabunaway rejected Islam but revealed himself. Mamalu brothers submit to conversion. Tabunaway and his followers fled up the Pulangi River to the interior. At a certain stop, they decided to part ways. Tabunaway and his group, who went to Livungan, became the Livunganin. Others became the Kirintiken, Butuanin, Kulamanin, and Tinininin. The Kulamanin slept into Pulangi and Bitidsalug or Matigsalug. Branches of the Tinininin were Kirintiken, Lundog Batnig, and Rangiranin. A group stayed along the river in Lanuan and built an Ilian or port and so became Ilianon. Those who went to the Divaba downriver became the Dibabawon, some of whom branches into Kidapawanin. But because all these groups retained their indigenous belief and practices, they retained the name of their original sites, Banubo, which eventually became Manubo. On the other hand, Babalo's descendants became the Magindanaons. Bajilan landed in Butuan in 1521 and planted a cross at the mouth of the Agusan River to commemorate the first mass celebrated there. By 1591, Butuan had become an encomienda and tributes were collected. However, Spanish garrison towns and forts have to be erected because of Moro and Banubo resistance to colonization. In 1648, rebellion that caused death of many Spaniards was led by a Manubo chieftain named Davao, a historical figure who became a hero of legends recounting his fantastic feats as a giant. Records of Christian conversion probably refer to Visayan lowlanders since all attempts made by Spaniards to make the Manubo conform to the pueblo or town system were futile. Christianized Manubo towns were established by 1877, but these would shortly after be abandoned and razed to the ground by the converted Manubo themselves, who would then flee to the mountains and revert to their old ways. By 1896, at the outbreak of the Philippine Revolution in other parts of the archipelago, the missionaries and troops had already withdrawn from the hinterlands because the Manubo constantly engaged them in warfare. It was during American colonial period that significant changes occurred in the Manubo way of life. Patrols of the Philippine Constabulary with American officers in command aimed to put stop to the interval raids and feuding among the Manubo. At the same time, the civil government tried to persuade the people through their dato to live in villages instead of dispersed settlements and to send their children to school. Consequently, more or less permanent Manubo barrios began to be established in the lower areas. World War II hastened acculturation because lowlanders evacuated to the mountains to escape the Japanese. After war, the government homestead program encouraged families from the northern island to settle in Mindanao. Its homes leader was offered a farm plot of 16 hectares, stored for the first year, house, building materials, a carabao, and farm implements. Although the Manubo themselves were offered the same privilege, their council of dato forbade their people from cooperating. However, for generations, the younger ones, especially those who had been educated, joined the program defiance of their elders. Furthermore, logging companies caused roads to build the mountains and his facilitated instruction or interaction with the lowlanders, especially since the trucks of these companies usually offered them free rides. A typical Manubo settlement that underwent rapid change in Barrio Salangsang of the municipality of Libak. For generations, the Manubo way of life was intact here until the 1950s when it was opened to Tiduray settlers. A Protestant church was built in 1959 and an elementary public school in 1951. By 1966, out of a total of 510 households, 143 were Tiduray, all living in the village center. Out of the various 11 sari-sari stores or corner shop, 9 belong to the Tiduray. Thank you very much. Our next topic would be the Kidapawan Ubo Manubo is origin, legend, myths, folklore, folk wisdom, and spiritualities. Thank you very much.